would you be able to tell us a little bit about perhaps one of your favourite, or there's probably not the right word for it, but one that you perhaps would be most keen to share of your cases?
Okay. Right. I mean, I don't know how many jobs I did, right? I'm not being child of big potatoes there. You don't count them. And sometimes you're doing 2 or 3 jobs at the same time. You might be a bit player on one job, like supporting the main UC on a job, or you might be acting as the boyfriend and with a girlfriend, boyfriend to support another operation. You might be the principal, lead UC on a job, so you're in and out and you're bringing people in to sort of make you look real. You know, you got to have friends. You know, you got to have stuff. You can't just be you. Nobody else on the planet knows you. So some of the walk-on bits are quite funny. But when people say, you know, ask me about UC jobs, I always go back to one that's in the book. In the book Undercover Legends, about a Italian guy who was a really, really good fraudster. Really good. Big money fraudster. I'm not talking, you know, running a credit card. This guy was big international fraudster. And he'd done time. He'd done his time. He got out of prison. He was here in the UK. And he got mixed up with a couple of other fraudsters who were muppets, right? They weren't in the same league as this Italian guy. And he got himself nicked again with these two. And long story short, he's getting interviewed. After the interview, he says to the cop interviewing him, could we do a deal? He's going to offer him a bribe. He senses that. He goes to his boss, he said, I think I've just been offered a bribe here. His boss, who was a career detective, thought, right, we'll take him on this. Got onto his undercover unit and said, is there anything you can do with this? Within 2 hours of him being in that interview room, I was getting a phone call at home with the famous words, do you fancy a bit of work? You always say yeah. You always say yeah. Before you even know what it's going to be, you say yeah. I played the role of a corrupt police officer, as far as he was concerned. A corrupt DS that could make the evidence disappear out of the evidence locker. So no evidence, nothing to present in court. Police have messed up. He could walk away. That was going to be the scam. And he was going to pay me £50,000 for doing this. Something like that. A lot of money. Came in 2 lumps. So we make arrangements to meet the first time with sort of phone calls from phone boxes. And he's really, really careful. You know, he's really sort of wary of me. Because I'm a police officer, right? Although I'm saying I'm bent, you know, he's got this touch of the seconds about it. So I go meet him in a hotel, coffee lounge, and he's not there at the time given. So I phone him up. I said, where are you? I said, I'm in the hotel across the street. I said, well, I thought we were meeting here. He said, I'm just watching if you're on your own. I said, mate, you got 5 minutes to get over here. If you don't come, I'm going. So he came in, no words, just nodded his head at me. I said I'd be stood by this big rubber plant or whatever it was in the reception. And he nods his head that way towards the gents. We go to the toilet and he pats me down, makes me take my phone apart and everything. And we go and sit down and he's really, really cagey. We go and sit down and he won't speak, he's just nodding and shaking his head like that.
I suppose that's so it doesn't get picked up on any audio recording, isn't it?
Well, yeah, but we had a surveillance team in there as well, videoing him, I guess. But he won't speak. He's very reluctant to speak and very cagey because he don't trust me. And he says, let's go for a walk around the car park. So we go for a walk around the car park. He says a little bit, but he doesn't say enough. And he says, I want us to meet in a sauna, just me and you in a sauna. Really? It's very hard to hide recording equipment when you're in a sauna, isn't it?
I imagine that was probably his thinking, right?
That was exactly his thinking. So anyway, we arranged to meet at a leisure centre, and we get into the locker room, and he gets in the locker opposite me, cubicle opposite me, and I'm in this one. And he makes me strip naked in front of him, right? And he strips naked. Then after throwing my swim shorts, and he throws me his, and we check them all out. And so then we go into the sauna, but there's somebody in there, so he won't speak again. So we go into the swimming pool, and and we stand in the swimming pool with the water up to our necks, right? So it's just our heads on the surface. And he runs his story out. He tells me exactly what he wants and how much I was going to get for it. I haven't recorded it, so it's uncorroborated, right? That's what they say. It's not corroborated. It's my word against his. So again, you're thinking now, I'm going to get this. I've got to get him to speak to me. But you got to be careful on questions you ask suspects, because you're a police officer, right? And if you're going to ask somebody a question about an offence, you're meant to caution them. And if you did that as a UC, you'd have one job, wouldn't you? That'd be it. You'd be back on the beat again. So he runs a story out in the swimming pool. Get all our clobber back on together. And I said, right, we'll go and buy a couple of throwaway phones from the supermarket, Sainsbury's. And we'll sit down, have a chat, sort out how we're going to use the phones. And that's what we do, because he's now thinking the phones, and we're talking about that. And I've got all my stuff back now. I said, right, let's just go through it again before we part from here. And he did. He went through exactly what he said to me in the swimming pool. Boom, got him. So that was good. So I'd outfoxed him there, because he was really, really cagey. When we come out of the hotel the first time, I'd arrived in a CID car, right, Ford Escort. It was plainly a police car, a plainclothes police car. He come out of the hotel and I said, what? It's like a cop car there. I said, it is, it's mine. It's what I've come in, you fool. He really was a cagey sort of geezer, really cagey. So we could go away. I've got everything I need now. The next meet he's going to give me half the money. And then once I've got that, I was going to go away and he wanted a passport, some bank accounts, a laptop, various bits of evidence. He wanted a load of money as well, which was always kept in a safe. It doesn't stay in the evidence locker. It's more secure. Anyway, so we arrange. He gives me half the money then, but he's back on the cagey stuff now. We get back out in the car, and he's nodding at the glove box, like that with his head. I said, what? And I open the glove box, and there's a carry bag in there with 20 grand in or something, whatever half the deal was. There's 20 grand in there. So, he's really, done enough now. But he wants this stuff. And we arranged to meet at a hotel to do the handover. He's going to give me the rest of the money, and I'm going to give him his stuff. So, the night before the meet, schoolboy error this is why I tell the story, because you might think you know everything, or you get a little bit cocky or overconfident, and I certainly was on this. So the night before I go to the hotel, just to have a look at it, to familiarise myself with the lounge there, the coffee lounge. And I go in there, and the waitress, nice girl, woman, not girl, woman. And because I'm chatty and all that, I'm sort of giving it all the banter and this, that and the other, blah, blah, blah. And what I've done is I've put myself on her radar, Next time I go in, she's going to remember me, because I'm the chopsy Mancunian. And I think nothing of it. I go and I'm staying in a different town, not far away. Come the next day, go in the coffee lounge. The operational team are using a bedroom on the 6th floor or something to run the job from. And I'm in there getting my briefing and doing everything. And he phones me. And as I pick the phone up to talk to him, the phone in the hotel room rings, the guest phone. And I start looking at this, somebody rips it off the hook and, doesn't speak, thank God. And I said, where are you? I said, I'm at the hotel, where are you? He said, I'm just round the corner, I'll be there in 30 seconds. Shit. I said, I'm on the 6th floor of this hotel. And tell the story in the book, it's funny. I come out of the hotel, and the signal to nick him that I've got what I need, or we've got enough evidence now, is I put my jacket on. As soon as I put my jacket on, the arrest team that's sat around drinking coffee like members of the public would get up quietly, arrest him. So he says he's 30 seconds away, and I'm like, shit. I have to get down there. So I go running out of the room, put my jacket on. Can't remember if it's jacket on, jacket off, whatever it is, when I got to send the signal to arrest him. Then I go to the lifts. I think, I can't go down the lifts, because he'll, if he stood outside the lifts. So I take the stairwell and run down the stairwell, and I get to what I think's, the ground floor, and I open this door, and I'm in the beauty salon. It's like all these women having their nails and their hair done and everything. And I sort of look at them. Bearing in mind, I've got a tape running at this time now. I'm going, morning. Walk out. They've got a street door out onto the street. Come back in through the front of the hotel. And he stood there right by the lifts. And he says, you know, and like, I'm trying not to breathe heavy. And I can't think if it's jacket on, jacket off. What am I going to do? He says, he asked me, he said, where have you just come from? From across the street. I said, I've been watching you come in here, see if you brought anybody with you. Same thing he played on me. And so we go through the lounge, and he won't bring the money in. Right? I give him the passport as a teaser. So yeah, here's your passport. I said, the rest of it's in my car. He said, where's your car? I said, it's close by. I said, where's the money? He said, I've got the money in my car. I said, well, where's your car? He said, it's in the underground car park in the apartment block he lived in. I said, well, go and get it and bring it in here. No, I said, I don't want to do that. He's still, you know, not 100%. Because I'm a cop, and you know he's going to go to prison again for a long time.
Yeah, and it doesn't necessarily make sense to bring money to a deal either, does it? As far as I understand, because of course, if things go wrong, if you really were a dodgy copper, you could have just, I don't know, arrested him, buried him in the woods somewhere, and taken the money and not done the job.
Well, dodgy copper there. So he won't bring the money in, and he said, right, what I'll do is, I said, I'll go and get it. Put it on the front seat of my car, you can see it, and then I'll go to the underground car park. And you think, right, I know how to do surveillance, go on surveillance training. I'm thinking, the arrest team can't come with me into an underground car park. But I can't tell him that. I've got to think of another reason why we're not going to do this. And I say to him, I said, no, we're not doing it. He said, why not? I said, well, I get in there, you've got your two big heavies with you. You say to them, take that stuff off him, and they take it off me. Maybe give me a clump. I said, what do I do? Call the police? That don't work, does it? He won't do it, but I've got enough. So I stand up to put my jacket on. It's the same waitress is serving tables, right? She's not let on to me. That was the schoolboy era. She's not let on. I stand up, put my jacket on, and I can hear a scuffle. It was just, you know, movement behind me where the arrest team's going in for him. And they take him away. And I go upstairs, do all my notes, my exhibits, everything else. And I come downstairs to have some dinner in the hotel. The waitress is there, and she's the woman. She said, that was very interesting before what went on, wasn't it? I said, sorry, what do you mean? Yeah, the chappy, the chatty chap wasn't chatty anymore. Yeah, so schoolboy errors in there. A bit of humour with him stripping me naked. Honestly, God, I couldn't believe it. But so cagey. But at one point he said, you know, it might be a trap. And again, I turned it on him. I said, well, this could be a trap. I said, you could be working for, you know, Panorama, doing one of these disclosures on corrupt police, and you're just sucking me in. How's it going to look, me coming out of a sauna, a swimming pool, you know, with you? How's that going to look? And that was quite a short job as well. It was only, I don't know, maybe 4 meets altogether on phone calls. But they're just quick in and out jobs.
Mm. It might be a good point to mention that is in your book, isn't it?
Yes. Let me say, there you go. Undercover Legends. And it's not legends as in a legend. A legend's a story, your background, you know, who you purport to be. So this book here, Undercover Legends, by David Lacourage. That's the pseudonym I used on this book. And it's about me and a female UC called Sam, and I'm Dom in there. And there's about half a dozen jobs or so that we sort of did together, or did one together. She did one there, and I did the rest of them. Yeah, there's all sorts in there.
Yeah, I very much enjoyed listening to it. I listened to it on Audible. I found the difference between the tone of the book and the quite prim and proper guy narrating it quite funny. Cause
Yeah. He does when he does his Italian accent. Yeah, it's very good.
To watch the full video, please become a premium member at lotuseaters.com.